Hey there, welcome back to Sea Power. This is mission number 4 from the European series. This is a Lithuanian landing. Russia has launched a massive ground attack on the Baltic nations, especially the region surrounding the Suwalki Gap has seen extensive combat. A forward element of Russian ground units has broken through Lithuanian defenses and is threatening to surround Klaipėda, trying to block NATO from reinforcing their units already in the Baltics via sea. A large surface task force has been detected somewhere in the Gulf of Finland. It's likely tasked with intercepting NATO reinforcements. Our objective is to deliver the reinforcements to Klaipėda. Optional, find out where the ongoing land attack on Klaipėda is being coordinated from and destroy the command center. Alternatively, destroy all attacking ground forces. Right. Now, we're going to start off with an airbase, apparently. This is Visby Airport. Already got bandits. With an EM, that's potentially an early warning platform. Let's see what this thing can launch. A P3C. Already got one up. You're packing harpoons. To deal with that surf task force, I bet. Okay. What else can we launch? Viggens and Grippens. And the MQ-9 Reaper. How about that? Now, these are the fighters, I believe. Yeah, air-to-air. AMRAAMs and 4 meteors. Meteor? Let's just launch 2. What else can you pack? Because I tend to overlook seed strikes, for example. Strike loadout. Bombs, strike heavy, more bombs. Strike precision. Paveways. Strike long range. With the Scalp or the Taurus. So I can launch 2 Taurus missiles, or I can launch 1 Storm Shadow. I don't have a target for anything like that, right? Well, that could be a problem. If that's a surface-to-air installation, that could be a problem. What about the AJs, the Viggens? Air-to-air long range. 2 Sidewinders. Anti-tank loadout, anti-tank, close air support, strike long range. The bomb capsule? What is that? Oh, it's not listed here. Aircrafts. Fighter bomber, Viggen. That's the... that one? Yeah. The BK-90. Swedish Air Force nomenclature for a gliding standoff submunitions dispenser or cluster bomb with 72 submunitions. That would be useful to use against that command center if we can find that. The problem is, if this is a surface-to-air site, and it is the 2020s, that's going to have a massive range. Do we have any other options? Not really. They have a ship with the RBS-15F. We got the RBS... oh, no, the RB-04, the robot. Well, there is a surface task force coming this way, so let's just launch all the birds. I'm going to go with 2 groups of 3. It's fairly easy to manage. Group of 3, group of 3. Okay. Now, what other units do we have? Oh, hello, gorgeous. Hello, gorgeous. This is a 7 Provinces class frigate. It's the 804. That is the De Ruiter. It's just the, according to the game, it's the F802. The 7 Provinces, or the Zeven Provinciën if you're Dutch. This is an air defense and command frigate, and she is pretty capable at that. She's going to have lots of missiles. We have... oh, this is the MetLife update version. Rolling airframe missiles. I don't... yeah, here. In front of the radar installation. That's the rolling airframe missile. Then we have evolved Sea Sparrow missiles with a range of 30. We actually have, I think, better missiles here. Standard missile 290 miles. Tomahawk anti-ship missile 243. Naval strike missile 130. And the rest is torpedoes and guns. Behind her is the Bayern F217, armed with rolling airframe missiles, evolved Sea Sparrows, anti-ship missiles. This is the RBS-15 again. But this is the RBS-15 Mark III. Which I think is different from what I'm packing on the other aircraft. Long-range subsonic anti-ship and land attack. Oh! Well, have I got a target for you? What is that? Yeah, that's a radar installation. In fact, it's an SA-10. Yeah, it's one of those. What can you do? You can shoot everything down at 50 miles. That's hefty. Okay, so you have potential to do something about that. We have a 76mm gun, a generic Mauser offensive ECM. Decent range. And mass noisemakers and mass omni-traps. Oh, and here's our landing force. This is the Saxon class. With the, I think that's a PZH 2000 turret. There was apparently the modular naval artillery concept, the Monarch. And that installed one of those turrets aboard this ship. And this mod still has that. Range 21.6 miles. We have rolling airframe missiles, standard missiles, ESSMs, 30 miles. And that's the 90-mile missiles, 24 of those. 8 harpoons, 80-mile range. Okay. The Gnitzo. That's the landing ship, I suppose. And this is the Johan de Witt. Not really. The real Johan de Witt looks a bit different. It's another Dutch ship. Dutch landing platform dock. This is not that. This is actually an Austin class. Alright. We also have Patriots. Okay. We have various ships around. Let's see if they're in a chatty mood. One is not. You guys up yet? Yep. Here's one of our Vigans. That RBS-15 doesn't tell me anything about what its range is. I hope this isn't going to crash my game. But there is something wrong with that platform. What sort of range can I actually expect out of that weapon? Ooh. I can hit about that coast. Yeah, that's not a great option. Okay, so if there is something... Oh, there is. 25 knots. If there is something coming from over there, we will need to do... probably a low altitude approach. Throw missiles and then go up. Or rather, throw missiles and stay low. Until such a time as when the danger has passed. These things look good. I think the Gripen looks better though. I really like the look of this bird. Now she's carrying the Meteor. The Meteor is a BVR missile, isn't it? Yeah, BVRAM. Beyond Visual Range Air-to-Air Missile. 108 miles. I like those. Get up to 37 if you will. 37,000 feet. 543 knots. That would be really fast for anything that is... Oh, there's a lot of them. It would be really fast for anything that is a civilian. Just for good measure. No response. Okay. Need to get the other Vegan flight up to 37,000 as well. I hope sending 6 missiles per flight is going to be sufficient. It's going to be a bit close. Now, what about the Reapers? Because I can launch Reapers as well. Strike loadout with 4 Hellfires and 2 Paveways. Okay. I suspect these things are going to be slow, so I might as well launch a bunch. So that I still have a bunch of those in the area when I need them. As for this installation, I think I might be able to strike that using one of the strike loadouts for the Gripen. To strike... It is a surface-to-air platform. 1 Storm Shadow is going to get shot down. I can only launch 7 flights of Taurus, though. It's not a whole lot. Let's launch both. I don't know if I'll be requiring both. But, you know, better to have it and not need it.
Roger. Turn 060.
It's gathering point.
Roger. Turn 057.
Grippins, I might need you to intercept whatever the hell that is. What's the range to the provinces? 148 miles. That should be peanuts for you, right? You can detect things out to 1300 miles. Turn on your air search.
Air search on.
Hello.
Radar high. Multiple
Yep.
contacts detected.
That's a whole hostile wing.
On station.
Okay, it looks like we're gonna have a party with the BV Rams.
Roger. Turn
Own speed,
9.
about 400.
133.
Airspeed 540, but we're still climbing. Yeah, we're done climbing, so we're gonna transition to horizontal flight, and that should give me speed. So that we'll be able to link up, so to speak. What about potential surface and subsurface threats? Let's launch the NH-90. Oh crap, default loadout, whatever. Bandits. Yeah, there's a lot of them. Oh, this ship.
Track 70.
This ship, what a beauty. Spent a long time looking at her. Had a poster of this ship in my room. We have 4 of these ships in service in the Netherlands, and I think I visited 2, maybe 3 of them.
7009.
And I was used to think I would surf aboard these things. But, well, I managed to go on an internship with the Navy. Which was, well, as we're waiting, story time. I wanted to join the Navy ever since 3rd grade of high school. We have high school that goes to 6th grade. And, for me it was just Navy, Navy, Navy. So I knew these ships pretty much, what their specs were, what their weapon systems did. I had a fascination for these units. In, I think, 5th grade, we were supposed to do an internship. And I was in contact with the Navy. The Navy said, fine, you can join us on internship, but you have to do communication. So you cannot let school reach out and do comms with us. We expect some, you know, independence, some taking responsibility. And I said, yeah, sure, fine. So I was in touch with them. And then it took a long time for me to hear back from them. The original word was good, because it said, well, you can join us on one of the frigates, we have an exercise then, and you can just be aboard a frigate for a couple days. I thought, fantastic, that's what I want. And then crickets. No news, no word, nothing. So I reached out and got no response. Reached out again and got no response. And then school reached out, because, well, I wasn't getting any response. And they said, yeah, well, you know, there's been a slight change of plans. You cannot join a frigate, but what you can do is actually join the overseer of the Navy Marina. Now, the Navy Marina is not a fancy term for you're going to be joining the harbor master of the actual harbor, where, you know, the ship... Oh, boy. P-270s. You're not going to be joining the harbor master where all the actual frigates are. No. You are going to be part of, you know, the actual marina. So where all the small stuff was. I thought, okay, well, it's not great, but whatever. At least I get an internship at the Navy, so let's do that then. And then, pretty much the day before I was supposed to go towards the internship, they called me again. They said, yeah, the overseer of the marina has been fired. With, you know, immediate footing. Just instantly kicked out the door. So I'm not sure if he was banging the Admiral's daughter or something, but they had to get rid of him for some immediate reason. And I didn't have an internship. So I was back at school while everybody else was doing their internship, which wasn't great. And I still had to write a report about how the internship was. So, I wrote an internship paper on how I didn't have one. As weird as that is. And my dad was like, well, you know what? We're just going to send this to the Navy. Because the way that they treated you is not okay. And I was like, okay. So we sent it into the Navy and didn't hear anything for a long time. And then at some point, phone call. And it was the first officer of the Dutch Navy training facility. And he said, well, what we did to you is not okay. I'm not sure if you still want to have an internship, if you still want to join the Navy. But you're welcome to join us with the group of recruits, so the first years. And they will be just about done with their initial training, which is, I think, exercising with the Marines for a week or two. And after that is basically their first week of college, or Navy college. And I could join that. And I did that, and it was awesome. Spent a couple days at sea as well with a tri-mast ship, an old cross-rigged ship that they use for exercises. And it was great. I just felt like this is my spot. This is where I want to be. So the guys at college there were basically like, yeah, well, we'll see you next year. When you sign up and when you get in. Yeah, but no. Because then you have to have... what's the right order? I think first you have to send a letter to the Admiralty Board. Basically an application letter going, okay, this is why I want to join. And if you get past them, you're then going to have a next phase, and the next phase, and the next phase. I made it through those phases, except when I got to the psychological evaluation. That's where they said, well, based on your experiences in high school, I think you're too introverted. I think you are not extrovert enough to be aboard a ship. So I thought, oh no, really? And they just, well, for lack of a better term, they crushed my dreams right there and then. And they said, well, maybe you can, you know, take one of those sort of, not leadership courses, but assertiveness training. And you can work on it. And I thought, well, no. And I always still was very interested in the Navy. But the dream of serving aboard these ships had gone. That, that proverbial ship had sailed at that point. But anyway, that's how I got to have an interest in the Navy, and it's basically why I'm still playing Sea Power. Because I'm still trying to chase the dream of the Navy. They did, by the way, at some point, when was I in contact with them last? Like, a couple years ago? A couple of years ago, there was an opportunity when I was reaching out... Oh, fuck. When I was reaching out to somebody in the Navy, or in contact with the Navy, and I said, well, this is pretty much... It's in or it's now or never. Either you join now or you don't. Because there's a maximum age that you can be when you join the Navy. At least when you can join the Dutch Navy. So I had to pick there and then, but I think at that point I already had just had my first kid, or he was on the way. So it was pretty much a, yeah, no thank you. No thank you. So that's my my history with the Navy. Or my not so history with the Navy, depending on how you look at it. Oh fuck, there's more of these bastards. When MRAM is chasing that missile, well, it's been known to happen. Can you actually start dealing lethal amounts of damage here? So, you know, didn't get into the Navy, but I did manage to still play around with aircraft and warships, and in a way, I still get paid for interacting with naval units, just in my own way. Okay, that's another one of those things gone. I've been talking so much, I don't really know what is going on regarding the attack here. I mean, something is sending muskets my way. Something fast. And now it's slowed down dramatically. So I'm not 100% sure what that's about. Anyway, we're going to launch... yeah, I'm going to launch Taurus against this. Salvo 4, execute. Good lord, that's a massive missile. You also got meteors aboard. It's valuable. I don't have to guide these. So I suppose I can just get these boys to join the fight. What is that? It's not an EM position. Let's get that missile knocked out. Cute. Alright, so what are we shooting down? SU-33, isn't it? SU-33. Well, my friend, that'll be that. Whee! Gone. Gone, and one survivor. Unfortunate. I can still talk to this missile, so maybe I can still get this RIM 66 to go for the aircraft. Listen, until we know what that thing is, I don't want you to get too close to it. And there are no further missiles to guide, so we can just go home. Okay, those Taurus missiles are going to be cruising for a while. This is 650 knot aircraft. Well, missile. These guys can take over air patrol duties. Oh, it's one of them. That's a P-1000. 2,000 knots. 200 miles. So it'll take them a fifth of an hour, aka 12 minutes to get here. What is your speed and what is your seeker? Holy crap. That thing's got a seeker and a half. So it's not possible for me to get my ships out of the way, that's for sure. Talk refuses to comply. VID this guy. Tell me what this is. I think it's a merchant. But I just want to be sure. There. I'm going to be spiraling down, just checking out whatever that is. Alright. Can you finally get taken out? Be great. Flares, chaffs. Nobody cares. Okay, job done. Now, how about some soda boys? Range... about... 20 miles. If I was a Soviet admiral, and I had the opportunity to take down a surface group like that, like a landing force or a reinforcement group, I would probably do that with a submarine. Speaking of, how far... Ooh, they got to travel 8 more hours to get there. Can you go faster? No. No. Because this ship is simply not going to go any faster. Great. We'll have to make do. Now, these Vigans... It'll take them a sweet amount of time to get there. Let's say if we get to 35 miles, I want to be way down. I'm probably a little later, or a little earlier than that. Fuel on these things is not good. Fuel on these things is not good. Especially if we're flying low, we're going to be burning a lot more fuel. That will be a problem. Wait, you are not dead. That's unacceptable. Those missiles of yours, those RBS-15s? 108 mile range. I'm outside of range of that, unfortunately. Also, I first want to see how well these Taurus missiles do. They're flying in very close proximity. I should have staggered that launch, because this is making them pretty easy to intercept. One missile might intercept 2 or more missiles. That's a problem. Look at that. We almost have range on that missile because it's at 32,000 feet. Fire when ready, provinces. Go. 2. Also had the Saxon... No, the Bayern go off. No, he's still got plenty missiles. Plenty. I can preemptively, and I should have done that before, activate defensive, or rather offensive ECM. Hopefully that will keep me safer. And, well, now we just kind of wait. A little later, as I'm doing a BVID... Sorry, yeah, no, not a BVID. A VID. I have a couple of targets here for the meteors. So we're going to send another meteor shower after these targets. Because I would like to put less pressure on the warships. Let's see if the meteors can do this. It means I'll have to cycle these Gripens as well, because they don't really have much left. Well, Sidewinder, but, you know, not great. This aircraft is doing low speed, 206 knots, 3,000 feet. This thing is doing 260 knots, also 3,000 feet. I'm thinking this might be a civilian because it's so slow. But I don't really know.
Roger, turn 086.
Taurus is about to arrive.
Birds away, track
Height 103 feet.
70.
It's pretty damn high. Now, we're 90 miles away from whatever the hell sent those P-1000s. And I still don't know what it is. Kinder class?
70.
That's a 7.5 mile surface-to-air platform. That's not a problem. P-35, Progress. If that's what it is. But it could also be a more modern version of the Kinder. If it's the 1989 version, it's got a 17 mile range. It's got a 250 mile range and ship missile. So that's most likely a Kinder, but what are you then? Well, we just know it is something that has a radar. That's not terribly useful. We did intercept 2 missiles. Not bad. If I can get my planes over, maybe we can get some Sidewinders on targets. But you can see that the 7 Province is also defending herself. And over here, a mere 15 miles away from the target, we're getting quite close. I think the other Gripens have just landed. Loitering. Negative, sir. The other P3 is loaded with ASW now. I still don't know if they are submarines, but I'd rather be sure. Yeah, 17 minutes. Range, 26 miles. Too far. Alright, gentlemen. Do I put everything in one big formation? No. But we are going to go lower. Drop down to 1,000. You too. 1,000 feet. The last bit of the journey we'll have to do at 200 feet. Alright, Taurus, show me what you got. The SAMs are responding. 650 knot missiles. I hope they're fasted. No. Fuck. They all intercepted them. That's what I was worried about. That they would just blow them out of the air. And they did. Rather efficiently so. I'm gonna send 2 of the RBS-15s at it. No, make that... Yeah, staggered launch. 3. 4. Okay. There's a second ship. Still don't know what that is. Range 77 miles. Dropping down. Oh, it sucks that we didn't take this thing down. Gripen, can you engage that? Oh, he's up to 32,000. Just dump it. You too. You got it? Send it. And now RTB. I don't know if we're fast enough to catch this thing, because this is doing 1300 knots. And we're rapidly running out of speed. So, yeah, I should have launched that from a different altitude. I wasn't aware this thing was at 3,000 feet. That means the ships are going to have to defend themselves. We are jamming, but we don't have range yet. Yeah, good luck with that. Oh, crap. These things are both trying to do that. We're going to go to the moon approach. Not good. Still 12,000 feet up. What's that? Another radar of some type. Who's detecting that? The P3C, because you guys don't have ESM. You can't detect that. I think our Storm Shadows all got intercepted by 1 or 2 missiles. It's such a waste. Oh, sorry, not Storm Shadow, Taurus. Come on. This thing is now on its way down. 6,000 feet up. We're both getting jammed. Our own missiles are getting jammed by the missile itself. P1000 now at 260 feet. 34 feet. Lost it. Come on, girl. Don't let yourself get taken by one missile. There you are. Visual by the helo. Yeah, we got no range on that. We're gonna have about 20-mile engagement range. Given the fact that this thing is up so... or sorry, down so low. Bayern is potentially gonna get a hit. This thing can cripple my ship, probably in one go. It's jamming one missile. It's not jamming the other one. Missed it. This is not looking good. They're breaking through every layer we have. I don't have offensive or defensive ECM here. Shoot, shoot. Okay, we're jamming the missile. And I think the missile decided to take a bath. Okay, so that's gone. Good. Well, as you might imagine, this is going to be a long mission. We still have a strike against these ships here. We still have to do with the surface-to-air sites. We got to take out the A-50 over there. Plenty to do, but not this episode. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon for part 2.